The Boston Celtics have some hidden gems on their roster. Neemias Queta absolutely came out and dominated in this Celtics performance in limited minutes, was showcasing his untapped potential to be the Celtics' potential backup big man for the future. And we also got to see Jordan Walsh make history, scoring his first NBA buckets tonight. We'll be breaking down all of that, plus a little bit of Marcus Smart's reunion on this episode of Celtics Digest. I'm Bruce Veliz. But before we dive into this Boston Celtics content, I would like to say that 78% of our viewers are not subscribed, and we greatly appreciate it if you guys hit that big old red subscribe button and join the Celtics Digest family. We want to hit our goal of 4,000 subscribers, so if you want to make sure you stay up to date on daily Boston Celtics content and coverage, hit that subscribe button so you definitely don't miss out on anything. But let's dive into the news at hand today. Make sure to grab a snack, as it is going to be a jam-packed episode as we dive into this Boston Celtics content. And we'll be looking at the Celtics' secret potential in two guys that they have that are very, very young, that the Celtics roster and team hasn't really been able to utilize and see the development of this season. And those two guys are Neemias Queta and Jordan Walsh. Now, I'm a big proponent and a big fan of both of these guys. Jordan Walsh, I'm a huge stan of him ever since the Boston Celtics drafted him. I thought he was kind of a Grant Williams replacement for the Boston Celtics, a kind of do-it-all guy in Arkansas, helping out being a great role player. Felt he could fit similar to the role for the Boston Celtics and kind of be also a younger version of Al Horford for the Celtics. Ultimately, we haven't seen that much of Jordan Walsh this season, but we did see some fantastic things out of him tonight as he did score his first NBA bucket for the Boston Celtics, which was absolutely fantastic. He is the 513th Boston Celtic to suit up for the Boston Celtics, and he is the 503rd Celtic to ever score a career bucket for the Boston Celtics. I want to give credit to Keith Smith on that tweet and finding out that information. He is superb on his Celtics details. If you want to get some Celtics details, check him out as well. But honestly, the Boston Celtics came out and dominated tonight versus the Memphis Grizzlies. And Jordan Walsh, even though he only got a little bit of flashes in the fourth quarter, has that untapped potential to be that guy for this Boston Celtics team. If we want to look at his stats, like I mentioned, he only got to play around 9 minutes tonight, 1 for 1 from the field with 1 offensive rebound, 1 assist, 1 steal, and 2 total points. But he was a plus 16 as the Boston Celtics got a 40-point victory over this depleted Memphis Grizzlies roster. Now, obviously, Marcus Smart got his love as well, returning back to Boston and getting his limelight. He was a hero among us for this Boston Celtics team being honored tonight, and he was also getting his tribute video. A lot of people were upset. I was upset, breaking down, crying, as it was very, very emotional to see the guy that, gave it all to this city and really depended on the city of Boston to help him into his stardom. And you can tell that he really, really does appreciate this city. We appreciate you, Marcus Smart. Thank you so much. Unfortunately, could not play versus the Boston Celtics tonight, but he definitely deserved his flowers and deserves his recognition as a Celtic stan. Let me know what your guys' thoughts and opinions were in the comment section down below about the celebration from Marcus Smart tonight. If you guys were there, let me know how it was as well. But the main attraction that we want to be talking about in this video tonight is a guy that we've been hyping up on this channel since the beginning of his signings for the Boston Celtics, and that is Neemias Queta. Now, Neemias Queta, guys, is a great backup center for the Boston Celtics, and has had to fight for his minutes between Luke Kornet, as the Celtics have had a depleted front court. We obviously know that Al Horford, Kristaps, Porzingis, those guys are deserving of minutes, but Luke Kornet and Neemias Queta have fought for those minutes, and a lot of Celtics fans on Twitter, on YouTube, especially someone in our comments, have displayed their emotion for either guy. They've displayed that they really liked Luke Kornet, they like the fundamental ability that he brings for the Boston Celtics, or they like that high energy and that high motor that Neemias Queta brings. Obviously, guys have their off nights and their bad nights, and both of these guys have shown some glimpses of really good stuff for the Boston Celtics, but also some really disappointing things. But Neemias Queta tonight ultimately unlocked and showed what he can perform for this Boston Celtics team if he's given the tools and development. If we want to look at Neemias Queta's stats for the game tonight, you guys can see he played in 10 minutes, 4 for 4 from the field, 4 defensive rebounds, 4 offensive rebounds for a total of 8, with 2 steals, a plus 18, and 8 total points. Now, usually my one gripe about Neemias Queta is finishing at the rim. He hasn't really done that to the best ability for the Boston Celtics, but he was able to find his rhythm in finishing at the rim for the Boston Celtics tonight. He also was very great on the rebounding as well, getting in great position to box out guys for the Memphis Grizzlies and getting those defensive rebounds for the Boston Celtics. He's also a guy who's very high on the energy, like Oshae Brissett, in getting those offensive rebounds, and I like that energy that he brings to the Boston Celtics. We saw 4 of those offensive rebounds were from him tonight, and that is key for the Boston Celtics, as that is one of their weaknesses with this team. Rebounding is definitely a key weakness that we've seen in the last couple of games versus the Los Angeles Lakers. And we saw a little bit of it in the first quarter versus this game versus the Memphis Grizzlies. But honestly, a guy like Neemias Queta, if he can fully get fundamentally sound and get ready to unleash himself, I really think he can be a great player for the Boston Celtics. Honestly, though, I don't know if it's going to be unlocked this season. Ultimately, this Memphis Grizzlies team was very, very weak, was very, very depleted, had nobody playing for them, basically. Had a lot of two-way guys. We saw G.G. Jackson, Jake Gilliard. Even I saw a guy that I didn't even know named Jameson, to be honest. So there was a lot of question marks with this Grizzlies team. So Neemias Queta, looking as great as he did versus a depleted Grizzlies team in some garbage minutes is great and all, but I don't know if he can truly live up to that this season. I think if the Boston Celtics don't use their traded player exception with Grant Williams, they should definitely convert Neemias Queta to the 15th roster, and they should develop him as the third big, maybe sending him down to the G League like they have this year in the past, and having him kind of develop this season behind Luke Kornet. Ultimately, I think by the start of next season, he has the utmost potential to be the Boston Celtics backup big, and I think he has a little bit of that Rob Williams-esque playstyle and that Rob Williams-esque potential. Neemias Queta, let's not forget, was the G League MVP not too long ago with the Sacramento Kings and has been a dominant piece in the G League. It's not like he needs to be sent down there and be held down in the G League. He's definitely worthy of gracing those NBA minutes and getting that development and play time. It's ultimately just going to take a little bit of time for him to get there. That's why I think this season, the Boston Celtics, like they have been, develop him a little bit more and give him a little bit more playing time, especially versus some of these weaker opponents like we saw versus the Memphis Grizzlies, with the Boston Celtics being up 30 points in the third and fourth quarter. I think it definitely gives him that energy and that motivation to want to keep developing and be a better potential player. And I still think he can reach that untapped potential for the Boston Celtics. Like I'm saying, he brings a lot of energy, is a very high-flying guy, gets a lot of offensive rebounds, can be a high-volume shot blocker for the Boston Celtics, and be a great rim protector and paint defender. Honestly, the only things he needs to work on his game is a little bit better finishing at the rim and a little bit worse on the fouling. But let me know what your guys' thoughts and comments are on Neemias Queta in the comment section down below. Like I mentioned, the Boston Celtics did absolutely fantastic tonight in Marcus Smart's return. Obviously, it was bittersweet to see Marcus Smart in a Memphis Grizzlies jersey. Happy to see him back, but obviously we want to get the victory. We won by 40 points tonight, 131-91, and the Celtics get a fantastic victory after a nice bounce back versus the Los Angeles Lakers. The Celtics will gear up for this week as they take on the Atlanta Hawks on Wednesday and their next opponent versus a little bit of a weakened team with Trae Young. So we'll have to see how the Boston Celtics come out versus that opponent as well. But expect the Boston Celtics to be a team fighting as well as they still try to hold on to that first place in the Eastern Conference, with other teams rising closer to the trade deadline. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode of Celtics Digest. I'm Bruce Velez, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.